My salams, everybody. I hope you guys are having a good day today. I just came back from a beautiful walk with my son and my sister-in-law, and some thoughts just as recently as they've been happening, but just popped into my head, and I felt the need to share these words of wisdom with the women that follow me. If you guys are on my TikTok, hey now. If you guys are not following me on my YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel just in case TikTok gets banned. Follow me on YouTube as well. So today's topic is you will get your husband to do more for you when you drop that strong woman complex. I know. I used to think I was a strong woman. Remember I told you guys everything's mindset? Everything's mindset. I used to be proud to call myself a strong woman. I used to think that was like a badge of honor, right? I'm a strong woman. I'm independent. I've done all these things for myself. I put myself through school. I started a career in sales, and I, made this company X amount of millions of dollars, and I, bought my first house at this age, and and I've done all of these things, and I'm such a strong woman, and and built a business and all these things. And I am learning more and more about the power of femininity and how I actually receive more help in my life now that I don't want to be a strong woman. I want to be a woman who is cared for, taken care of, who is dependent on others to help her with her family, her business, her issues, her problems. I have a team of people around me to help me to manage my life. And it's such a blessing. It's such a blessing. In our society, we're taught, more so I think in American society and Western societies, we're taught that we're supposed to do things on our own and pull yourself up by your bootstrap and be a strong woman and, be, independent and all this, and conquer and achieve and all these things. And it leads to burnout and frustration and feelings of overwhelm and resentment. It creates a lot of resentment when you realize that you cannot do everything by yourself, and you're not supposed to do everything by yourself. In other parts of the world, like I mentioned before, women have villages, and women have other women to help them. They have their husbands to help them. They have their families to help them. They have their friends to help them. And they're not required to do everything by themselves. They don't want to be strong women. Like, that's not a badge of honor to be a strong woman, right? You want to be a supported woman. You want to be a woman that has time for rest. You want to be a woman that has time for ease. You want to be a woman who has time for worship to get more closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the more I've dropped the idea of that, and the more I've been vulnerable with my true feelings about how I feel about things when I need help, the more I ask for help. Just even today, for example, I had a busy weekend. I'm, a little tired. I don't feel like cooking. So my husband literally seasoned all the meat for me. And when I told him that, I'm just not feeling it today, I'm just not feeling it tonight, he was like, that's fine, don't worry, and he's going to get food for us and everything. And I've learned earlier on in my marriage, I didn't always share my feelings with him, but I've learned over time to really be honest and open with him and with others, not just with him, but with him and others, about my true feelings, about anything and everything. I don't hide my feelings anymore. When I feel something is not going to work for me, it's not good for me, or I need some assistance with something, I don't feel this desire now to fake it or to lie or to do things I really don't want to do, or to acquiesce to other people's needs, wants, and desires. Like, I really have learned to value my feelings and value my energy, and know that I'm not supposed to do everything by myself. I own a business, so I work, and I work part-time, and this is the first time in my life where I've worked part-time, because I came to a point a couple of years ago where I was, trying to work full-time with my kids and everything in the household, and it was too much, and I started to pray about it, and I decided that, my well-being is more important than money. It's more important than money. And also I wanted to have the energy to nurture my family as well. And me always being busy on the go, I didn't have the energy to nurture my family. And so I felt like something was always falling short. And so I started to think back to like who I really was and what I really wanted out of my life, and what was the reason? Like, what was the reason why I thought I had to be a strong woman, or why I had this prove it energy? I have to prove, you know. And the more I let go of those type of beliefs, and started a new mindset with my value is not being in me being productive. Like, I used to literally attach my sense of value and worth to being productive, and I don't anymore. I really attach my value and my self-worth to my well-being. My well-being is everything. When I'm well for myself, I'm well for my family, I'm well for my community, and I can give of myself when I'm full, right? When I'm well rested, when I'm in a place of ease, when I'm in a place of peace, and you have the right to tell people to really communicate your true feelings. Your feelings matter. How you feel matters. You have a right to communicate your feelings to your husband, your boss, your mother, your parents, like anybody. Because a lot of times, you know, we're taught as women to put other people's needs ahead of our own needs, and then we end up unhappy. And people can't read your mind. Your husband can't read your mind. No one can read your mind. And then you're circling back and forth with people like, why are people taking advantage of me? Right? And maybe it's like, have you ever articulated what you really feel? Right? Have you allowed yourself to feel your feelings? And then have you given yourself a space to express them freely? Right? Remember, your well-being is the most important thing. When you feel well, you're going to be a better mother. You're going to be a better wife. You're going to be a better employee or a business owner. So drop this whole, I have to be strong and I have to, you know, acquiesce to everybody else's needs and desires. And like, really, you have to really work on putting yourself first. And one thing I noticed when I visited my husband's country, the Gambia, and even when I went to Saudi, I saw this. I sat and talked to the Saudi women a lot because I wanted to get in their heads. But one thing I noticed was for the ones that were like middle class or above, they all had maids and cooks. Especially the ones who worked, the ones that had careers, they all had maids and cooks, and some of them had drivers. So for them, in their own minds, there was no expectation that they had to be strong for everybody and they had to wear all these different roles in society, right? They understood that they needed help. They understood that that they would need help to manage their careers, their households, everything. And that's just normal life. Like, that's just a part of what normal life is. Now, of course, the ones who were poor maybe couldn't afford to have a maid or a cook or a driver, but I found this, and this isn't a lot of the world, like where women have help. And I think we have to get into the mindset that we're not supposed to be taken care of, and that our well-being is not the most important thing. So I always say, whatever it is that you need, pray about it. Whatever it is that you need, if you know you need help, if you know you need assistance, if you know that you can't do this all by yourself, you pray about it. You ask Allah, you know, bring me assistance, because you're not supposed to be a strong woman. You're supposed to be easy and soft and nurturing and loving. You're supposed to tap into your feelings every day. You're supposed to honor your feelings. You're supposed to communicate, more than anything, communicate and express your feelings so that your well-being is a priority in your life. Okay? So I hope that helps. With that, I'm signing off. I'll see you guys the next time I'm inspired. My salams.